How's it going, everybody? It's Pride here, and today I'm bringing you guys a new video. Before I get into the actual topic, I just want to talk a little bit about this gameplay because it is honestly one of the dumbest things that I've ever done. It's a regular Fight Club. You'll see it was, honorable matches and stuff like that, but in the end, I do something really stupid, and I just want to say I 100% thought he was dead, but you'll see when that comes up. But today, I want to talk about FromSoftware and Hidetaka Miyazaki's new IP. And basically kind of saying, like, for sure we're not going to be getting Dark Souls 4 or Bloodborne 2, which is pretty crazy. So a couple days ago, there was an article released, which I'll actually link to in the description if you guys want to read it yourselves. But they talk a little bit about a new IP that FromSoftware is working on. Now, we have not gotten any info on this new IP, but it has basically been confirmed that we're not going to be getting Bloodborne 2 or Dark Souls 4. We have known for a bit that Dark Souls 3 was apparently supposed to be the final Dark Souls game. Maybe a couple people were skeptical, maybe just hopefully skeptical because they want to see another Dark Souls game. Like myself personally, I did kind of in my head, no, this is the final Dark Souls game. But then it's kind of like, it did so well. Dark Souls 3 did amazing. Why would they walk away from that? And it's kind of honorable of them because they want to make new things. They want to create new games. They basically created like a new genre of games. There were games similar to like Demon Souls back in the day, but I feel like what they did with Demon Souls and even later on Dark Souls is completely perfect the formula of this hack and slash shield rolling, like the mechanics in this game are beautiful. They're so fucking good. And there's very few games that have like fighting mechanics as good as Dark Souls. So it kind of sucks that it does seem like whatever they're working on, whatever their new IP is, it's not going to be anything like we've seen so far when it comes to their games, or at least the Dark Souls games. I know they've done games in the past. I have never played them personally. When people think FromSoftware, they think Dark Souls, Bloodborne, they think these games. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they actually work on in the future with this new IP. Now, we could be seeing an entirely new genre of games that, like they created with Demon Souls. They created Demon Souls. It was kind of like a cult hit. And then Dark Souls 1 came out and it became much more popular. Dark Souls 2, I'm pretty sure, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it might have outsold Dark Souls 1. And then obviously Dark Souls 3, which is the most recent Souls game, has basically in the first 2 weeks outsold every single previous Dark Souls game. I'm pretty sure it's like the fastest selling Bandai Namco game, even over games like The Witcher 3, which is huge. From the actual interview, he said Dark Souls 3 will have several DLCs like previous games, but there is absolutely no plan right now for any sequels, spin-offs, or tie-ins. So no Bloodborne 2, which is kind of weird. I definitely thought that Bloodborne would be like what they move on to, even though I didn't think that we were going to see like 3 sequels or anything like that. I thought that maybe we would get at least another sequel, because even though Bloodborne was a great game, it definitely seems like it might have been them just testing the waters and they could do a lot more with the Bloodborne series. But I'm guessing Sony, like if Sony comes with them with enough money, they might end up just being like, all right, let's work on another Bloodborne game. But it's one of those things where I think they just had like that one game deal. It's kind of like a sequel to what's it called, Demon Souls, right? Because of the story with the great ones and everything. But after that, he also said, if a FromSoftware developer came to me 5 years from now and begged, please let me make another Dark Souls, then I will not rule out the possibility to let my subordinate start a new project similar to what they did with Dark Souls 2. Obviously, Miyazaki wasn't directly involved with Dark Souls 2. He wasn't the game director, and that game still did well. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think even Dark Souls 2 might be like the highest rated game in the series, not including Bloodborne, because I'm pretty sure Bloodborne, even though it's not a Dark Souls game, it's, I'm pretty sure, the highest rated like Soulsborne game. He also said, what is certain for now is, to me, Dark Souls is over. So for him, in his own heart, he's saying, I don't want to make another Dark Souls games. I want to move on to something new. And he has personally stated in previous interviews that he is interested in working on some type of a science fiction game, some type of a sci-fi space game, which, I mean, you gotta admit, aliens, monsters in space, something like that sounds cool. But I don't think that this new IP is going to be something like Bloodborne, something like Dark Souls, We're going to see a completely new formula to the game, and it's a little, like, it sucks a bit because I love the formula of the Dark Souls series so much, but I am very interested. They have made a fan of me. Whatever they make, I will fucking buy. So let me know what you guys think of this. This has definitely piqued my interest, especially if it goes the way of some type of sci-fi space game. definitely for sure I will be looking out for info on this game, because you know they're definitely creative. Like, you know, just look at the Dark Souls series, it takes smart people to put these games together with how much creativity and how great the level design is on those games. But anyways, let me know if you guys are going to be buying this game if it actually ends up coming out. If any new news is released on this new IP, you can definitely be sure that I'll be talking about it on my channel. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace, everybody.